Ba 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 da da da. Monday, Monday, ba 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 da da da. Total eclipse Monday, ba 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 da da da. It's an eclipse and it's Monday and maybe we'll get superpowers, but probably not. What's up, nerds? It's your boy, the OGGM, coming to you live from Ventura, California on this, the day of the eclipse, which should hit us around 11 o'clock. 10:30, 11 o'clock, and there's the phone. Hello? Hello? Okay. Guess it was a thingy. Anyways, yeah. I think we get it, the beginning of it around 10:10 and the highlight around 11 here, but we're not going to get a total. We're only going to get part of it because we're kind of off to the path. But again, they found out the path they thought was wrong, so who knows? Anyways, it's Monday, so it's time to take a look at the news. We don't have a lot of news this Monday. It's time I get to say the word sextant as we chart our course for this week. What controversies are going to be upsetting us or lack thereof? What are we angry about this week, boys and girls? What news can we look at? In honor of the Fallout role-playing game, Fallout TV show starting on Amazon, all the Fallout role-playing game product has been marked down on the interweb over at Drive-Thru thanks to Modifius. The core rules is marked down to $13. All the other stuff is marked down. The starter set, everything marked down in honor of the upcoming TV show on Amazon, which hopefully will not be disappointing. So, yay, there's that. What else is going on? Apparently, Wizards of the Coast got caught lying again. What? So, if you remember correctly, about a year ago, Wizards of the Coast told us that they will be converting all the older stuff to the new SRD. All the 3.1, 3.5 stuff, all the old books, all the old adventures will be able to be accessed under the new Creative Commons SRD. It has now been a year since they said they were going to do that, and there's been no moves to do that. Also, about a year ago today, or a year ago this week, they said they would be converting the game to other languages to be more inclusive and diverse. 1 year later, that has not happened. In fact, they discontinued D&D runs in 2 languages that we know of. We know that they are no longer making the D&D books in Portuguese. There's only 5 million people who speak that language worldwide, so they don't count, right? It's only the 5th most largest language. But Portuguese isn't important. What did Portugal ever do other than, discover shit, conquer shit, invent shit? But yeah, what have they done recently? It's the home of the Red Room. So yeah, and we also Polish is discontinued. That one didn't get as much news because not a lot of people speak Polish anymore, but they're still out there. There's still a couple million people who still speak it, but I guess not. You're not going to be getting a role-playing game stuff in your language either. So that's two lies. Yeah. Speaking of lies or lack thereof, or stories coming to an end, the only other geek-related story really going on this week that's not going to affect our lives very much, but Cody Rhodes did manage to finish his story. If you watched WrestleMania last night, it is one of the largest WrestleManias in the history of the event. It's considered by many to be the best. They swerved us a lot. A lot of things happened last night that nobody saw coming. Seth Rollins lost his title to Drew McIntyre 5 seconds later while Drew McIntyre was mouthing off to CM Punk. Damian Priest finally cashed in his Money in the Bank briefcase and took out Drew McIntyre. Damian Priest is now the world champion for Raw. Meanwhile, on SmackDown, the big match, Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes, or more importantly, Roman Reigns versus The Rock, happened last night. And a lot of people thought Roman was going to retain because there was a lot of shenanigans. It was under bloodline rules, whatever you call it. And people thought that they were going to keep the belt on Roman at least another year so he could surpass Hulk Hogan's record and be the longest reigning champion in the history of the WWE. But no, swerve. Cody won. Cody finished his story, which right now is exciting, but I have a feeling the fans will turn on him pretty quick because Cody is much more interesting as a character chasing the title than actually having the title. But now he gets to feud with The Rock. He gets to deal with the aftermath of last night. He gets to deal with the, well, you couldn't have done this without help. Maybe Roman will come back and want his rematch. Of course, there's some rumors that Roman is sick again, which is one of the reasons why he decided. There's even some rumors he's thinking about retiring because of his leukemia and his health issues, and he wants to do more movies. Who knows? But anyways, there's that. If you were paying attention to last week, I had a chance to sit in on an interview with the individuals from Emperor's Choice Game who are working on the brand new revised version of Arduin Bloody Arduin, inspired by Dave Hargrave's Arduin Gomorrah series, which for me and a lot of Southern California gamers was a way more important to us ever than the Gygax shit. I think I'm more of a Hargrave player than a Gygax player. My style of play is much more immersive and much more goofy, much more over the top, much more gonzo, much more what can I do as opposed to what can't I do. I don't like being told no, you can't by a DM. I like being told, well, you can try, you might fail, you might die, I don't know, roll dice. That's more important. I think that's the way gaming should be as we continue this argument over Gygax style versus immersive style. It was a very cathartic interview for me, and hopefully I'll be able to continue talking to these guys again in the future. Because for so long, when I talk about my style of play and people argue with me that that's not the way we played back in the 80s and the old school isn't like that, thanks to this interview and thanks to talking to a couple other people, I feel like, yeah, I wasn't, imagining that, that there was a Southern California, West Coast grognard game style. So I'm definitely going to be following up on that for the days, weeks, and months to come. I'm talking to couple other Southern California gamers to do some interviews. So expect that West Coast grognard thing to reappear. I never thought that would go anywhere, but a year later, yeah. So I was very excited to talk to the Arduin guys. That should be seeing its first round of kickstarting in June, July, I believe they said. So yeah, if you're a fan of Dave Hargrave's Arduin Gomorrah, and they have all Hargrave stuff. They managed to get everything. Stuff he never finished writing, everything he produced. Dave was just, a genius. Just you look at the amount of detail and the stuff he created. He never stopped creating, and he got so in depth. Sadly, for whatever reasons, he left us too soon. And Dave, as you know, was often flagged as being problematic. He had a lot of legal issues. He sued a lot of people. A lot of people sued him. There's a lot of hubbub. He never really got the praise he deserved. But if you look at the stuff that is in role-playing games now and trace it all the way back, a lot of it comes from Dave. There's a lot of things now, including criticals and fumbles. Dave Hargrave was the first person to have criticals and fumbles tables. The Thrykin from, in D&D as a D&D race, that was Dave. That was the first time, there's a lot of things that Dave did that other people borrowed. So it's interesting to retrace that history. And as I said, again, it's very cathartic for me to know that I was not alone, that I was not imagining the way that I played. And to all the people who have, said negative things about me over the years and my style of play, to know, actually, there were other people who played the same way. So that's cool. I don't know if that's news, but it's important to me because there really is nothing going on this week other than Wizards of the Coast Live. We've got that live stream coming up where Will Wheaton and Jonathan Frakes will be on the same stage. So that could be interesting because we know Will Wheaton has a history of being a problematic individual in the gaming community and having said some rather negative things about his former Star Trek experience as a child actor. So will Jonathan Frakes be the gentleman that we think he is, or will he respond? And how will those two interact with each other? That should be interesting. I don't know, if it'll be a good game, but I think the politics and the personalities present at that game, especially with Wheaton, will be interesting. That's it. I have no news this week. So Eclipse, superpowers, aliens, end of the world, internet issues, stuff. I'll talk to you later. Stay safe out there. I have a feeling it's going to be weird.